Good morning. It is 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, March 26th, 2022. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Definitely needed to sleep in, although what I need to work on this coming week is having my sleep schedule get back into a better, alignment or whatever, just so that I'm not feeling just so heavy every morning when I get up. But what are you going to do? So last night I went to a live theater thing for the first time in a long time, just because it's not like it was something I was doing a ton even before the pandemic. But so a neighbor of mine whom I have befriended due to us both having dogs and seeing each other on walks, etc., um, invited me to go to this thing that I guess so she had been invited to, and then maybe I was going to come along, but then the person who originally invited her couldn't go, and so it was just like the two of us going. But that's okay. Like it was a good time. So this it was. Setu is the theater company, and it means bridge, and it was Lovin', a dozen one-act English plays expressing Indian love in various forms. And so it had like all the performers, and I think like a lot of the cast and everyone were, of South Asian descent, and it was telling a lot of stories meant to relate to that culture, and it was really interesting. So it says a dozen, but those are actually divided into two. There's pink and violet, and those are different showtimes. And so we saw the pink one, and I guess it was actually, not that I'm like uh, putting it out there that other people in the area should go see it, because it was actually like the last show of it, that like this is a program. But it was really interesting, and just it was the first time I think in a long time that I've seen any live theater thing that wasn't either A, improv at Improv Boston, or B, a big touring Broadway musical on a huge stage, right? So on a comparatively smaller stage, although the layout was interesting because it was stadium seating and then a non-elevated stage. But it was interesting, and I really enjoyed myself. I think like the first one was a bunch of kids doing like a kids story, and it was kids, right? Like you make allowances. um, but then a lot of them were pretty interesting. Like one of them was clearly like an adaptation of Waiting for Godot, but like elements transliterated into other things, where it was two widows waiting for Mr. Handsome. And I thought that was kind of fun. And yeah, there was a lot of good stuff, and they had like really elaborate costumes, and it was neat. One, like just as a technical thing that I could relate to as someone who has done some community theater is, and some other performance related things, is that it was obvious that they hadn't had a chance to rehearse all that much with the wireless mics that they were using, because there was a fair amount of like technical stuff there where like the microphone rubbing on a costume or their hair, or them having to adjust their blocking because it was starting to create feedback, and people forgetting to turn their microphones off and stuff like that. I don't want to make it sound like it ruins the whole show or anything, but it was just like it was enough so that I noticed, and it was just one of those things where rather than me complaining about that, it was more like I had some profound empathy with the actors needing to deal with that. And I thought honestly that they did a great job of just, the show is the show, let's not let it mess things up. The show must go on, that whole ethos, the performer's ethos. And so I really liked it. It was some interesting stories, and it was just like, as an outing, it was just such a change of pace from any of the stuff that would normally do or have been doing, and I really enjoyed it as a result. And it was just at a like, wasn't too far away. Just didn't have to go like downtown Boston or anything like that. It was just a local theater, and it kind of gave me a little bit of the bug of just remembering how, like, I did improv, and I like improv, But I also, when I was younger, used to do community theater, and I do kind of miss aspects of that. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what would be the way to get back into community theater at this point, and I honestly don't know if I could do the time commitment anyway. But I don't know. It's got me thinking I might look into it a little bit. But in the meantime, though, I'm going to maybe try to go see the Batman today, and in the meantime, I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.